everybody, and welcome to another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I'm going to be breaking down one of my favorite long-term holds that I've personally positioned a huge amount of my portfolio in long-term. I believe so strongly in Chainlink being one of the very best long-term holds that you could possibly have in crypto that I've put so much of my portfolio in it as that backing because I really do think that we're going to make the most profit possible, trusting solid projects that are guaranteed to profit long-term, trusting the projects that have already built and are the most needed inside of crypto, and you can't really look any farther than Chainlink. And then to finish up this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys two of my favorite upcoming projects that are actually partnered with Chainlink that I think are going to be providing some of the biggest gains over the next couple months. Right off the bat, guys, jumping into Chainlink, if you guys do find any value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys do want to see how I'm investing in my portfolio, links are in the description to go ahead and sign up on my website to my private group. Jumping into the shorter time frames, I want to talk a little bit about what we're seeing today. Chainlink is pulling back with Bitcoin, obviously. Bitcoin pulls back, everything pulls back, but I don't really think that it's that big of a deal. If you want to see my Bitcoin analysis, go watch my last video because nothing has changed. We're still at the all-time highs. I want to talk to you guys about Chainlink because Chainlink is my favorite long-term altcoin. Mainly just because of the fact I don't really think that there's one that's more needed than Chainlink as far as processing data, as far as making things cross-chain, and I firmly believe that the people and the companies that make the most profit this cycle are going to be the ones building cross-chain. Chainlink is one of my favorite cryptos because it's one of the most needed cryptos inside of the market. Really, DeFi doesn't exist without Chainlink to a very large extent, and so much of our cross-chain capabilities have actually been produced because of Chainlink today. So when I'm looking at the very best opportunity, I think that the chains that can utilize multiple other chains at the same time, they can source liquidity from Solana, from Arbitrum, from Ethereum, from, whatever it is, those are going to be the ones that profit the most. And so Chainlink is really at the epicenter of the whole cross-chain space. Looking at Chainlink, if you guys have been watching my channel, we were accumulating boatloads of it throughout the entirety of this bear market bottom. We called the bottom a number of different times. Every single time we made one of these big capitulations, we actually bought the lows, and I updated you guys on YouTube with me doing so. It was once we made this first little higher high right here at the very bottom of that I told you guys that this was most likely going to be the final move that we make before we break out of this range low, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. We consolidated here for over 500 days, and we've successfully broken out and started making our first higher highs of the cycle. When I look at Chainlink, I wouldn't be surprised that we saw one more correction back down to this $14 level before we make our next run up all the way to the top of this lower high, being like 38, 40 bucks. That's where I think the Chainlink is headed next. Now, the thing about Chainlink is it has lagged Ethereum, but as Bitcoin and Ethereum are at those all-time highs, getting ready for price discovery, these ones that have kind of lagged up to this point, they're going to make very quick impulses, and they very easily could just go straight to the all-time highs. I'm not necessarily trying to take profits below the all-time highs because my focus is obviously new all-time highs. I just don't think that there's a point in buying any of this stuff if we're not going to be holding it into price discovery. I'm willing to even hold a whole nother cycle if that was the case. Because when it comes to Chainlink, these are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. These are opportunities in the market where all of the biggest whales are investing because there is most likely going to be an ETF approved for Chainlink. When we're looking at what altcoins are going to get ETF approvals, I don't find any scenario where Chainlink isn't one of those that are included. Ethereum will be first. Then when we're outside of Ethereum, it's anybody's best guess. But I think Chainlink is 100% going to be one of the very best options up there. Now, when we're looking at Chainlink, one of the things I loved most about it, and the real reason why I was accumulating so much of it, was because it was one of the only altcoins that followed a 4-year cycle. And to me, the significance of following a 4-year cycle is everything because there's so few altcoins and really all of cryptos that do it. Bitcoin's one of the only ones, alongside maybe Ethereum. But seeing 1,450 days is at 4 years. 1,450 days is 4 years. If we analyze from peak low of our bear market of 2018 to the peak low that we saw in this bear market, it was almost exactly 4 years in duration. That's how you measure a cycle. We saw 3 years up, we saw 1 year down. Actually, it was like a year and a half down, but regardless, what we're seeing is a 4-year cycle. Now, inside of this cycle inside of this current cycle today, I think that we're at a very similar point right about here, where we're just starting that first higher high. And in Chainlink, we went into a new all-time high in that last cycle, but I think that we're at a very similar point. It's almost the same sort of setup right in here, where we're making our first higher highs, we're starting to break back above our major resistance levels. Even if we see a lower correction, I think that this is the final sort of move that we're going to make before we start going into price discovery. This is the disbelief phase of a market cycle. Anytime you go through this long-term accumulation, this big crash, this bear market bottom, once you first start breaking out and make the first higher highs of the new trend, what we end up seeing is that's where people oftentimes will start capitulating, right? They'll start selling into the rally thinking that it's done, thinking, oh, this is the last bear market rally we're going to have before new all-time lows. I got to get out. All the people that were buying up in here. And then, most people end up capitulating. Or the people that don't end up selling in here, they watch it correct back down and then they say, I'm done with this. This stuff is just a scam. It's not going to move anywhere. And then they forget about it, right? Regardless of what happens, this is what's always taking place in the disbelief phase. Nobody really thinks that we're going to be starting a new cycle in the same way that they didn't write down in here. Only that's what always happens right before we start that next cycle. So when I'm looking at Chainlink and I'm seeing it at the very last moment of its accumulation before we go into price discovery, I've honestly got nothing but confidence that the projects building under Chainlink are going to be some of the biggest winners this cycle. There are very, very few cryptos out there that are needed, and there's very few cryptos out there that are needed to the extent of Chainlink. And so, regardless of what altcoins you're picking, even if you don't necessarily want to buy Chainlink, the reason why I'm sharing with you guys these altcoins today is because they're going to be lower cap cryptos. They're not going to be, Chainlink worth billions and billions of dollars. For the average guy that's got $1,000 in his pocket to go invest, you probably don't want to buy Chainlink, and I'm just being honest with you. You want to go buy the projects that are partnering with Chainlink that are going to be starting at much lower valuations, because you're getting all of the value of Chainlink and what it is and the cross-chain compatibility, but then you're getting it inside of a low-cap crypto that's a cycle one narrative, right? All of these cycles that have already gone through prior bull runs, they don't perform as well in their second cycle because they've got bag holders to sort out, they've got all of this crap, they got to rebuild hype and all of that stuff. But it's the new cycle cryptos that have never had a bull run that are just getting added to exchanges. They always do the best. And so I wanted to share with you guys two of my favorite up and coming cryptos building on Chainlink that I think are going to be some of the biggest winners over the next couple months for your portfolio. First one on today's list is going to be Satoshisyn. We just recently talked a little bit about this the other day. The reason I wanted to talk to you guys about this again is because they just partnered with Chainlink. So if I scroll down right here, Satoshisyn just partnered with Chainlink, and they're basically going to be implementing their CCIP. For you guys that do not know what Chainlink CCIP is, we'll come over here and look at it. Chainlink CCIP provides a single, simple interface through which dApps and Web3 entrepreneurs can securely meet all their cross-chain needs. Basically, transferring data, transferring value from centralized to decentralized, from layer 1 to layer 2, from ETH to Arbitrum, and vice versa. The real problem in today's crypto world is the fact that I can't send Ethereum to Arbitrum without bridging first, or I can't send this to that without bridging, and this isn't compatible with this unless I do this and build a whole nother layer over the top of it, right? That's the issue with crypto today. The big reason why I'm so bullish on Chainlink is because it's cross-chain. It's looking at connecting all of the blockchains together. So therefore, any project that's building and partnering under Chainlink CCIP with Chainlink are going to be solving some of the key, most important parts and downsides of our current market in crypto. I think firmly with all of my heart and soul, the people that are investing into cross-chain protocols, they're going to be the ones that benefit the most. Because instead of me building only on Solana or only on Ethereum or only on this or that, I am now building on all of them at the same time, and all liquidity can come to me, and I can be a central liquidity source. And that's why I think Satoshisyn is set up to profit so well. Now, guys, the IDO for Satoshisyn is coming up, but the real reason I think that the token is actually valuable is because all of the cross-chain fees that are generated, anybody swapping or bridging, that goes back to the token holders. You can also stake and earn rewards. There's governance rights. The SSNC token is actually deflationary on top of the rev share you earn from the fees. That to me is huge. I'm participating in any project that I can earn rev share because when the volumes pick up in crypto, when money is bridging over, when people are trying to swap, the amount of profit that you can generate by staking a token or just holding it and earning the rev share from the fees, it's actually life-changing because I've done it for myself. So that's why it's one of my favorite cryptos coming up. Once again, if you guys do want to participate in the IDO, it's going to be taking place in 13 hours over on Ape Terminal, and they're going to be raising $300,000. So if you guys do want to check it out, I'm going to link this one in the description. The next one I want to talk to you guys about is XSwap. Now, they are also going to be doing an IDO, but it's not announced yet. The only IDO that's actually announced is Satoshisyn. So if you guys do want to get that, I'll link all of this in the description for the websites, the Twitters. You can find all the information. But this is one that I'm really excited about because this is the very first cross-chain swap that is built on Chainlink. So if you're looking for a way to be able to swap funds, one of the issues is you have to change the network, or you have to add a new network, and you have to go through Uniswap and then change the network and then add the new token, and you always have to be changing networks to be able to see your tokens. I hate that crap. The reason why I believe so strongly in cross-chain compatibility is because I want to be able to use Uniswap, and I want to be able to swap from Arbitrum to Ethereum, or maybe swap from Coinbase to Optimism, something like that. My ultimate goal is to be able to just easily trade my money, but my issue is I'm cross-chain, and so all of my issues come in the fact that I have to bridge funds, I have to pay gas fees, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to add a new contract, I have to go to a different block, explore to see anything. I love cross-chain compatibility because these guys are going to be a unified source to be able to send any token from any chain and bridge any token in any chain, because they have both. They have a bridge, they have their swap platform and their DEX, and that to me is really why we're going to see so much value in these projects. Now, I wanted to come over here and talk a little bit about XSwap a little bit more, because once again, they are going to be the very first swap platform that's actually using the CCIP. So when we're looking at first movers advantages inside of the market, I don't think that there's any sort of better way than buying into the earliest projects launching on Chainlink, because the network effect Chainlink already has is massive. Everybody needs Chainlink. Everybody uses Chainlink for DeFi. So therefore, when you're looking at the very first cross-chain swap platform launching, when you're looking at the very first inscription market launching from Bitcoin's network, I just think that these are going to blow up. Because, I mean, when we look over here at Ape Terminal, you know, you can participate in this one now. XSwap is still waiting to be announced, so I'll make an update with XSwap when the day comes, because I'm also participating in all of these. But the big thing for me is looking at how many some of these prior all-time highs have actually hit. This one did 22x, this one did 8.5x, 48x, 32x, 15x, 18x, 33x, 19x, 286x, 7.5x, 7x, 4x, 36x, right? So this is the reason why I say pre-sales are the best thing. IDOs always pump the hardest. They're only raising 300 grand. You can participate on Ape Terminal, or you can participate on CDeFi when it comes to Satoshisyn. I don't know which IDO platform XSwap is going to be launching on, but it will for sure be on Ape Terminal. As you guys, let me find it. As you guys can see right down in here, it will be announced, so just keep it in your calendar. Keep this website linked below for anybody that does want to get access. But the Satoshisyn one is going to be taking place in it's actually just under 14 hours. So I'm going to be participating in both of these because I really do believe in cross-chain compatibility. I'm a huge Chainlink bull, so now that the first projects are launching under Chainlink, I'm really excited for that because, you know, for me, I made a lot of money buying into IDOs really early. Back in even the ICO days in Ethereum in 2017, there was so many huge opportunities by being early to the first ICOs that ever launched. Genosis was one that did over 200x, I think. So when we're looking at all of these, knowing the track record the Ape Terminal actually has with some of these prior sells and how well they've performed, and then knowing that these are also the very first layer, and then also knowing that these are the first projects launching on Chainlink and building with Chainlink, I mean, I just have nothing but confidence that they absolutely rip. So I'm going to link everything in the description for anybody that wants to participate, anybody that wants to learn more information. I'll link white papers, I'll link the roadmaps and all of that stuff so you guys can go through and look. Do your own research, guys. I've done my own research with all of these. These guys are partnered with literally so many of the biggest crypto projects out there that I just don't care anymore. I know that these guys are going to do well. I've personally bought into the pre-sale, and I'm 100% looking at holding this one long term from here. So guys, links are in the description for anybody that wants to check this stuff out. Anybody that wants to sign up for my private group and actually see what altcoins I'm buying, selling, trading over the course of this cycle, links are in the description to go ahead and sign up on my website. Thank you guys so much. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.